We're up to video number 10 in our 10-part series talking about how to create demand for your DJ business with Dr. Drax. Drax, we've covered a lot of ground in this series. There's a lot of great information.
We have.
There's folks, you guys can go click on that playlist link down below, and that'll show you all the videos and all the different topics we talked about so far. The final one I want to hit on here, and this to wrap this up, is talking about the importance of networking when creating that demand. That you just can't be that one voice out there in these days and this day and age when it comes to getting that demand built. Kind of talk a little bit about some ideas for helping to handle the networking side of things.
Join an ADJA chapter in your area. If there isn't one, start one. That networking collegiality changes lives, it changes markets. Everywhere the ADJA has a local chapter, rates have risen dramatically because people stop acting competitively and start acting collegially. They share, they learn, they grow, they refer to each other instead of just saying, I'm booked. So that's an important element of networking. Networking is not going to a NACE meeting or a ILEA meeting with a big stack of cards and making sure you've stuck one in everyone's face and told them how great a DJ you are. Rather, networking is about meeting people, developing relationships, real relationships with people where they know what you do, you know what they do, and you really want a network to work. Work for the partners first before you ask them to work for you. And what that means is if somebody calls you and they're talking about hiring you as a DJ and you're talking about that, and you ask where they're going to have it and they haven't selected a venue, I've got 3 venues right off top of mind that I'm going to refer them to because I network with the managers of those properties.
Sure.
And I'm going to say, well, you really should look at this place, and this place. I've had great experiences, done a lot of great work there. I love to work at their properties. That's a positive networking value. Mm-hmm. Obviously, having an ADJ chapter, you have other DJs that if they're booked, they'll refer. In my case, here in Phoenix, I had mentioned in an earlier video about quinceañeras. Well, at one of our local chapters, one of our members talked about Latin music and events. Sure. I learned everything I needed to know. The 10 things I needed to know. His phone number. Why? Because I learned I needed to refer to him, and that worked out well because I referred to him, he referred to me. And there's a collegiality that comes about in recognizing everyone's unique strengths and recognizing your own weaknesses. And when you do this, the collegiality fosters incredible business growth. Scott Favor in our market in Phoenix, he moved here from California, had no cred here at all, zero, none, nil. Well, he was part of our A chapter, but he decided to create his own local networking group called Event Ensemble. There's now north of 1,200 or 1,300 local event professionals in his network, in his Rolodex.
Wow.
He holds 4 meetings a month, one every Thursday somewhere in the Phoenix Valley. Can you say he's busy? Sure. But what did it do for his business? It helped explode it because he became part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
Sure.
So you could create your own local networking group. Obviously, I think ADJ chapters are of value, and I highly recommend them. But create a local events group, a local wedding group, and bring people together. Have content. That's so important. And when you network, then you meet people that you can say, hey, let's meet for coffee. Let's go have lunch together and talk about business, be they DJs, be they photographers, whatever have you. Develop those relationships because that's what networking is. If you go to an event and are pushing your cards and pushing your service, you're not networking, you're pest working. And that's not going to help your business increase demand.
Not a bit.
And here's something else that helps increase demand. Work as many events as you possibly can in a year at the maximum amount of price you can obtain, because nothing helps increase your network than being seen by other event professionals.
For sure.
If you're the highest priced DJ, but you work 5 events a year, You have almost no network established from people having direct experience. Get out there, do as many events, particularly in your prime years between 20 and say 55. You should be working 40, 42 events a year. Why? Because that helps build a network.
Yep.
Network is key. Other DJs, other event professionals, and be about learning about them. When you have coffee with somebody, ask more questions than you talk about you. Those are great elements to network. And if you network with other DJs, don't be afraid to share your weakness on something, because everybody has them.
Yeah.
Find something you admire in the person and compliment that. Why? Because, it helps build a friend. Because networking is about friendships, really.
Yeah.
It's not about how can I leverage John Young for business, but how can I become a friend of John's such that when he meets somebody that could use my service, I'm top of mind. I'm the first person he thinks of in wanting to help that person who's talking to him find the right DJ. I've developed a relationship that makes me top of mind. And you want to be top of mind with every venue in your marketplace. And no, that doesn't mean dropping by unannounced with cookies and candy and what have you. It means network with them. Set a time, invite them to lunch. You pay. And learn about their venue. Learn about things that you can do. Build a network of value by showing people that you value them. And that's a network.
And that builds that relationship, and then it becomes that piece that drives the demand for your DJ services.
Exactly. And that's the network that wins.
That would. Wonderful. Drax, thank you much. Great points, great thoughts here in our 10-part series. If you guys are just jumping in on this last video, there's a link down below, and it'll take you to the playlist where you can see all 10 topics that we talked about in our series. A lot of great information there. You may have to watch some of it a couple of times to make sure you're not missing points and things, but that's why it's all out there in the little bite-sized pieces. Once again, Drax, thanks so much for your time with us.
Absolutely. And for anybody that's watched the videos, if you have other questions, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook or at adja.org. I'm happy to help you to build and grow your business, because that's what we do.
Great stuff. All right. Thanks, everybody.